I'm an impulsive shopper! It's a problem, I know. Why is it so freaking dark? Today, guys, gals, and all other pals, I have purchased 3 things from TikTok Shop, and I'm going to tell you whether or not they are worth putting in your collection. If they're cool, if they even work at all, what you can put inside them. And you can use these for anything that you're collecting. I personally collect Funko Pops the most. Also, yes, I know I just made a video about this, but then I went and I redid a bunch of my stuff, and now it is... but the floor is mostly clear. And that's a win. It's the small things. All right, let's go. Really quick though, my mother-in-law said I don't eat anything anymore in videos, and I realize that is sad, but I don't have anything to eat on me, so I'm gonna drink this coffee in honor of her. I will also say my stomach was already hurting. I just had more coffee, so that's gonna be fun while recording. Today we have 3 different kinds of displays. I know you only see 2 on the table, but that's because our 3rd one is actually over there on my Sanrio shelf already because I was impatient and I really wanted to try it out, and I also have more Sanrio pops that I need to put on there, so I needed the space. And I'm going to go into each one individually. We have that one, which is kind of like a flat cube. And we have your classic risers. These supposedly are wider than the ones I normally use, so I'm excited to see those. And then the most unique one we're gonna look at today is this display pod. And hopefully I'll be able to answer any questions that you have about these, but if I miss anything, make sure to leave a comment and I'll make a reply to it. Here's the first one we're gonna be talking about today, and that is this one right here. I'm gonna have it over on the side of the screen. This one can be hung up on a wall. It comes with a sticky sort of thing, but I chose not to do that. And I got it in the white color, but it's also known as clear or transparent, I believe. Big thing about this one right here is that these do technically come out, but they do have specific slots. I don't know if you can see that there, where they have to go. I had to bend this one a little bit because when it came, it wasn't in that little slot. And I think you can tell that that's a little bit bent there. I don't know why. Maybe something happened during shipping. Shelf holds 3 pops and probably many of these smaller Gashapon figures. The big thing is though that these can only hold short pops. So I might have been able to put this one on the top, but even at that, you can see there, it's a very slim chance. The top shelf ends up being the tallest because it has an extra space up here. And something really cool about it is 1, it stands up on its own. 2, it provides you more space on your shelf if you want to put anything in front of it. And since if I wanted to put this on my one-piece display, I would still have space to put all of this stuff down here, or even the Mary. Another feature I really like about this one is that it has a magnetic door. When you go to open this and it doesn't have anything in it, it will fall forward. Make sure you're holding on to it if you're putting things in one by one. But the door is actually a fantastic feature. I mean, if you don't care about glare, that is. Because 1, if you have little tots, they can't get into them, or at least not at first. And 2, if these ever fall forward, my pops will still stay in there and they won't fall over the floor. And I think that's an amazing feature. They do have multiple versions of this. They have this color, they have a cream color, and I think they might have a green and a pink color. Not super sure. Also shares a listing with the next one I'm about to tell you about. And that is this pod. It has 3 transparent sides. And the top has these grooves, and the bottoms also have grooves. And if you want to stack them with other pods, you can. Also could use some command strips on the back if you want to hang these on walls. It is extremely lightweight. I wanted to show you once I took those out that on the bottom it does have some grooves. Let me show you what it looks like with something big in it before I start setting those up. Wait, actually I'm obsessed. Not only because it fits and it frames it beautifully, but because something I haven't told you guys yet is that it can have lights. So this whole thing would be illuminated and it would be a wonderful centerpiece for a display or to have on your wall away from your kiddos or pets. Because I don't know about you guys, but my cats would definitely try to get those flags if they were at a lower level. But let's take that out and set up the rest of it. I'm gonna pause and show you what it looks like when we have almost all of them on there. This small one down here will not stay up for the life of me. As you can see, the rows are pretty staggered and you can fit about 3 or 4 on each row. The back row only has 3, but the row right after is 4. So, and each level comes with 4 pegs. Should have about 12. Even if you didn't want to use the pod and you just want to take a bunch of random things from your collection and put it on there, I think that could be really cool because it gives you different heights. See what I mean? I wanted to see what pops we could fit in here with all of these different stands there. Sorry, my camera will not stay focused. And I wasn't able to get my pop that had feet that were kind of separated to stay on, but I was able to put one of my pops that had one of the bigger base stands on in between these smaller levels. But even on those smaller levels, you can see up top that there isn't much room left, so I don't think you could even put them on the second or the tallest. So that is kind of a bummer, but it doesn't mean you couldn't put smaller things on there or take out the pegs entirely and just use the base as a flat base for whatever you'd like to put inside, because it is still tall enough for Funko Pops. I put my tallest cube basket that I currently own own, I think, inside here, and you can fit cue pockets. Probably fit 3. After much trial and error, what I have found out is that when it comes to pops and boxes, you can definitely do ones that are on their side, like Sleeping Stitch. If you want it vertical, just be prepared that you might not be able to take it out, and I would definitely put a protector on it because you're going to be moving it around and putting it at weird angles if you want to do that. Hi, so it's actually the next day. I was kneeling at this table and looking at that thing, and then I got up and I threw out my back, and it was really bad. Did a bunch of therapy things, and I'm actually almost fully recovered, which is astonishing. I'm not 100% sure where I left off, but what I'm actually gonna do is unbox my Nendoroids, and I've never unboxed one of them before, so I'm so freaking excited! I also want to introduce you guys to more types of collectibles, so then if we ever go down on some of our Funko Pops, we still have more figures to talk about. So let's go! So I actually picked 2 of them out, and that's because we're going to do Sasuke and Mino. I've been waiting, honestly, forever to open all of them. Oh my gosh, this is nerve-wracking. I can't. Oh my gosh, it's yellow on the inside. I'm so excited. On the bottom, there is this piece of paper. Oh my gosh, and it tells you all of the different pieces. And it tells you how to assemble. Oh my gosh. Sorry, I keep saying that, but like, I'm so freaking excited. Am I gonna read it? No, but I'm happy it's there. Ooh, even has its own little bubble wrap. See, this justifies the price. The amount of care and detail that go into these is insane. Wondering if I'm gonna do this wrong. Maybe I should try to read the instructions. I'm gonna read these and come right back. Okay, I think I got this right. So I did a bunch of the custom things, and I left his legs as is. I swapped out the faceplate, I put his headphones on, and look at the little milk bottle. Or tea? Is it tea? I can't remember. But he's so stinking cute. So I currently have all 3 sizes in there. He's on the smallest one, and he seems to be doing okay, but if there was like a big bang against a bookcase, I'm not sure. That's what he looks like from the side. Of course, you can always adjust this back piece. Let's open this up and move him on the middle, and I think that might be as far as we can go. And he's a lot more wobbly on that one, but I don't know if that's just because I didn't put that peg in super sturdy. This is what he looks like from the side on that one, and he's definitely close to the top. I guess would be you could probably fit 3 or 4 Nendoroids with their base stands like this, or you could take that out entirely and create a little scene inside, which I'm sure would be absolutely adorable. Before we move on, this is what the lights look like. Press this button. Ooh! And there's different modes. Oh, that's cool. I love this. You use these to stick these on. Now let's open up our next one. But first, kitty break. Last up, we have this LifeWit riser setup, and this one is actually 4 shelves, which a lot of them I have are only 3. So you have each individual shelf. Let's take those out. Protection piece, and then it looks like you have the sides right here, and these are hard plastic, and then you have an installation guide, and it gives you multiple languages, and it tells you how many pieces of each you should have, and it looks like you just slide them into place on one side, and then you put the other side on. This actually looks really simple in comparison to some of the other ones that I have, but let's do this real quick. They all seem to be in good condition except for this one. You can see right here that we have a crack. It seems to be really internal. You can't even feel it on the outside. And with that, let's set it up. So I don't know if you could tell during that time lapse, but this piece right here was giving me trouble. It wasn't the actual piece itself because I did try to put this one on there. It's the little area down here on the actual big piece that's giving me trouble, like where it slides in. And you can tell right here that it's just being a little difficult. As a whole, I don't think it's gonna be anything that keeps me from being able to use it, but let's try to put the other piece on and we'll see. Okay, so this girl is the mammoth of display shelves. Not only does she have 4 tiers, which normally they have 3, this has so much width. I knew this going in, but holy cow. It actually is pretty fingerprint resistant, which I am surprised about because my other ones aren't. All right, here's the comparison between my 2 mains that I've been using for years now, and then this new one. This is the one I've had for the longest. It's still available on Amazon if you want to pick it up. There's a 4th shelf on the bottom that you can either have tucked underneath the 3rd one, or you can just flip it the other way and you can have it stick out a little bit, depending on what you're trying to do. It can hold 3 pops. If you go over to my last video, which is my full collection video, this is the one from the Naruto shelf, Beauty and the Beast shelf, and the WandaVision shelf. And it's a good old faithful. This is a shelf that you will have to have a screwdriver for. I don't remember if they provide one, but I always have this in my storefront if you want to pick it up, and it's always in my description of my videos. This one right here is the one that I am constantly getting questions about, and it is not available anywhere. I am so sorry. It was from the Target Bullseye section 2 or 3 years ago. It is extremely rare that they ever restock things from there. I'm currently using this on my Little Mermaid shelf, on my Sanrio shelf. You can see I have two right there on my One Piece shelf and on my My Hero Academia shelf. They fit 2 pops each, 3 Funko sodas. I really like this one the most because it has that extra height so you can still see your merchandise on each shelf. But unfortunately, like I said, they are sold out and there is no hope of return at this moment. Those are my 2 mains. Let's take this one, which is taller than that one, and compare it. So the bottom shelf is way lower than this bottom shelf, but that is okay because it's practically floor level. It still gives a little bit of height if you want to have something here and you need a little bit of a boost. And you can see you get about another inch or 2 above this one for this shelf, which is a blessing, possibly a curse, depending on the shelves you have. I will definitely say that this one is much deeper because you have that extra shelf. If you go onto TikTok shop, they probably will give you the dimensions as well of this one. I don't have the dimensions of this one. Yeah, it doesn't give the dimensions there. But let's see what this one looks like on a shelf. These are the Walmart Mainstays bookshelves. If you don't know, they are practically the same exact size as the Target ones. So if you have the Target ones, what I'm about to say will probably apply to you as well. I have this pushed all the way to the back, and it does have a very small sliver right there, so you could probably fit pop soda right there if you want to. I'm so sorry. A Funko soda. Oh my goodness. You can fit a 2-pack, one of the more narrow 2-packs, but a 2-pack up here, and it does have a little bit of overhang. If you pull this forward, that is not a problem at all. But you can fit some pops there. You will see though that her base stand is hanging off a little bit, and so are Ursula's tentacles. Even at that, if I just put this up here, it still has plenty of room with a little bit of overhang again to fit there if I wanted to. Individual shelves on each tier have plenty of space. It will take up roughly half, if not over a half, of the shelf width. That is something to consider, but if you have a lot of one type of pop and then maybe a pop album or cover or VHS, this could be a wonderful solution for you. Or maybe a 10-inch pop. You will have to make sure though that you have enough space. And then this is the other shelf that I have from Amazon that has the 3 tiers and is a little bit more narrow. And I have that 4th shelf, which I could put here if I wanted to. This one I do have it out because occasionally I would bring this more forward and I want that extra little lip in case it goes over. Let me take everything off this and tell you how many pops you can fit on each row. Can fit 4 rows of 4, not including anything in front. 16 Funko Pops per shelf. And I did try to grab ones of various sizes and different stands and heights, and I am very pleased with this result. But let's see what this looks like on a Billy bookcase. And here's what it looks like on a Billy. It takes up a little bit less than half the width. However, what you gain in the ability to put the shelves practically anywhere, and what you gain in width, you lose in depth. So you will see that it hangs over a little bit here, and there isn't really anything you can do about that. However, I don't see that as a deal breaker, especially because these shelves are the most customizable to where you can put this, so you can adjust it so you have plenty of space up here. This is one of my shorter shelves for sure. And I wanted to show you what it would look like with one of these on there, one of the Susanos, so you can get an idea of how big each individual shelf is. I think that this shelf is great, and I might use it for maybe my One Piece display. Now that I've destroyed my office, I think we're gonna wrap this up. If you'd like to grab any of these for yourself, of course they will be available over on my TikTok, so go ahead and check me out at the Bayley Pop on all platforms. My Amazon storefront is always in the description of all my videos, and if you want to see any of my lights or some acrylic risers that I think might work for you, you can go ahead and check them out there. I also have stuff for my desk set up there too. If you enjoyed this video, you'd probably like this one too. If you want to see a full tour of my entire collection, go ahead and check out my video from last week. You are an awesome, beautiful, wonderful person, and always remember that you are loved, you are valued, and you are enough. Bye!